Most skincare routines are built on trends, hype, or what your friends swear by. But what if yours was actually based on science? This routine is based on actual studies from the top skincare centers across the world. This is what works, what doesn't, and what your skin actually needs. Most people look at their skin as just a surface, but it's actually a barrier built to keep hydration in and pollution out. But when that barrier breaks down, you get dryness, irritation, and premature aging, which none of us want. So here's a quick crash course so you can understand what we're truly solving for. Generally speaking, there are 4 skin types. Oily skin overproduces sebum, which is usually from over-cleansing and dehydration. And then dry skin lacks lipids, which lock in moisture. And then there's combination skin, and that's pretty self-explanatory. But it does both and is primarily linked back to weather or stress. And then there's sensitive skin, and in most instances, it just means that the barrier is damaged and it's not necessarily genetic. Once you know what your skin is really trying to tell you, it's a lot easier to fix. Now that you understand what your skin's actually doing, let's talk about how to fix it, starting with your morning routine. First things first, you gotta start with a gentle cleanser. I'm talking skip the harsh stuff. Look for a pH balanced cleanser that removes dirt, sweat, and oil without that squeaky tight feel. If your skin feels tight after cleansing, that doesn't mean clean, that means you stripped your barrier away. The second step in the morning routine is an antioxidant serum, preferably with vitamin C. I mean, really, it's not all hype here. Vitamin C really helps reduce free radicals, which are generally caused from extra UV ray exposure. In plain English, it slows down the stuff that makes your skin look older. Use it right after cleansing and before moisturizing. Step 3, voila, or moisturizer. Think of it as armor for your skin. Humectants pull in water and emollient smooths it out. And occlusive seals it all in. You don't need 3 jars here. You really just need one balanced formula that hydrates without all the extra shine. Step 4 is sunscreen, and there's really no debate here. About 80% of all visible aging comes from UV exposure. So for you, that means SPF 30 or higher. Every morning, even on cloudy days, if you're outside a lot, you need to be reapplying this about every 2 hours or so. Really, that's it for the morning. You clean, protect, hydrate. That process is simple and effective. Now, let's talk about what happens after dark, because this is where the real recovery begins. After a full day of sun, sweat, and life, your skin needs recovery just like your muscles do. And nighttime is when repair actually happens. This is where you undo the stress of today and begin to set up your skin for tomorrow. Step 1 is to start with a double cleanse. If you wore that sunscreen or work out, start with the oil-based cleaner to break down that SPF and sweat. And then you want to follow up with a gentle cleanser, just like you had in your morning routine. You'll be surprised how much cleaner your face actually feels, especially when you can do it without that dry, stripped feeling. A pro tip here is to exfoliate. You can do that 2 to 3 times a week. They say if you knew better, you do better, so allow me to introduce you to something better. My advice, skip the gritty scrubs. They scratch your skin and wreck the barrier. Use a chemical exfoliant instead, and one that uses BHAs to clean your pores. These dissolve dead skin cells and make your treatments work that much better. Just don't overdo it, because too much exfoliant can cause redness and irritation a lot faster than you think. Now, step 3 in this portion of the process is the treatment serum. This is where science really begins to show up. Retinoids help boost cell turnover and collagen, and these have been proven in research for decades. Next is one my wife always talks about, which is niacinamide. If your product has this, then it's going to calm inflammation and help even out your tone. And the third thing we're looking for here is peptides. These help support firmness and elasticity in your skin. Now, you don't necessarily need all of them at once. You can begin to rotate based on your skin's needs. Think of this as like giving your skin a direct line to the lab. Step 4 in your night routine should be to have a moisturizer or a skin barrier repair cream. As I mentioned before, nighttime is where your skin really begins to rebuild. Again, here, if you really want to take things to a next level, you should really use a moisturizer that helps with barrier repair. When you begin to see things like ceramides or cholesterol and panthenol, those combinations begin to lock in hydration and strengthen your skin even more overnight. So in short, cleanse, exfoliate, treat, and repair. That's your PM formula. Now trust me, I know that sounds like a lot. So if you want to keep things really simple and use products that work with men's skin instead of against it, that's where Caldera Lab comes in. I've been using their light regimen for a few months now, and here's what stood out right away. It's lightweight, it absorbs fast, and actually works in humidity. I travel a lot. I'm in the sun, I'm under lights, and lately I've been getting back in the gym. So I need something that could keep up without me feeling greasy. The big difference here happens to be their exosome technology. It sounds high tech, and it is, but here's what it means in plain English. It helps the ingredients get deeper into your skin, about 25 times better than most products on the market. And that's because it was built for men's skin, which is about 25% thicker. And most formulas just sit on the surface. This system here is really engineered to fix that. But here's how it fits into my normal routine. I start with the clean slate. It's a gentle cleanser that cleans sweat, oil, and SPF without drying you out. Next, I move into the eye serum. And this is proven to visibly reduce crow's feet, dark circles, eye bags, and even puffiness. Really, just 1 or 2 pumps is all it takes. And then I move on to the Great, which is a renewal serum that helps smooth fine lines and even out tone. Once my face is clean, I apply this to my face and neck, and I am good to go. And then we have the Hydro Layer. This is a light moisturizer with deep hydration. And what's really clutch about this is that it doesn't leave shine or heavy residue. And then what's really cool about Caldera Lab is that everything's plant-based. So it's clean and clinically tested with no junk, just clean ingredients. After about a week or so, my skin just felt better, looked calmer, smoother, and my eyes way less tired. This is one of those systems that just doesn't look good, it performs really, really well. So if you want to upgrade your routine without overcomplicating it, check out Caldera Lab /BBB. Or just use my code BBB at checkout and you're going to save 20% off your first order. Look, skincare doesn't need to be hard, it just needs to be consistent. And with this setup, it's easy to stay on track, no matter if you're at the gym, on the road, or out at work. And look, as I mentioned, when it comes to skincare, simplicity is a huge win. And what I've learned over the years is that 3 common mistakes tend to kill progress here. And almost everyone has made at least one of these. Number 1 is over exfoliating. Look, more isn't better here. Once your barrier is broken, no product out there is going to save you fast. Number 2 is skipping sunscreen. You can't out serum UV damage. One day without protection can undo a week's worth of effort. And number 3 is randomly mixing active ingredients. Retinol and AHA on the same night is kind of like mixing white and brown liquor. That's a recipe for disaster. So just space them out and your skin will thank you. Look, now I want to talk to you a little bit about how to make sure you're buying the right stuff. Before you buy anything new, unless you holler at my people over at Caldera Labs, I want you to flip that bottle around. Because what you see on the front is marketing and what's on the back is the truth. And once you learn this, you're gonna know how to read the label like a pro, and you might be able to teach a girl a thing or two. Step 1 is to check the first 5 ingredients. Generally speaking, in those first 5 ingredients is where 80% of the formula lives. If water, alcohol, or fillers are taking up those first 5 spots, it tells you exactly what you're paying for. Step 2 is to look for active ingredients and their concentration. You see, some big brands out there like to talk about vitamin C or niacinamide, but if you look, they're listed way at the bottom. So it's kind of like a sprinkling or a seasoning, and they use it just to say that they got it. I would aim for products that share the percentages or their clinical trial results. Your ranges might be something like 5% for niacinamide, 10 to 20% for vitamin C, and even up to 1% for retinol, etc. Step 3, ignore the buzzwords. Clean, non-toxic, natural, even dermatologist tested. Many times, none of this means anything because there's no legal terms to define it. Step 4, do some quick research. Google the ingredient's name plus clinical study. If research pops up, then you have real data to support it. At the very least, the company should have some of the test results available to you. Step 5, patch tests. Always patch tests. And I want you to do this, especially if you're using active ingredients. A small test on your jawline or neck will save you from barrier damage and a lot of wasted money. The bottom line, don't shop just by the packaging, shop by the science. When you understand what's in your product, you can stop guessing and begin to build a full-on skincare routine that actually works. That's your full breakdown. From understanding your skin to building a simple science-based routine. Just cleanse gently, protect during the day, repair at night, and repeat. It's that simple. So If you just want to make it easy or get products that were built specifically for men, then visit Caldera Lab at calderalab.com/BBB or use code BBB at checkout, and you're gonna save yourself 20% off your first order. So now that you got your skincare in order and you're ready to go out there and receive all the looks and compliments, then click here because I ranked every most complimented fragrance by how many compliments they get.